we extended the stay by 1 day here at Storms River. It's a beautiful, beautiful campsite. Beautiful ocean right here. We've really been absorbing it as best we can. But it came down last night like mad. Just as well we checked the weather and we packed everything away beforehand. And we're leaving quite early this morning. It really, really came down. But we're going to pack up this morning, head into Knysna, resupply, have some breakfast there, and continue on our journey. We're going to be doing the Prince Alfred Pass, or Prince Alfred Pass. One of those. We'll confirm with you later, once the coffee's in the system. Anyways, let's get packed up. Our morning would start with a nice leisurely drive through the garden route, making our way to Knysna. From Knysna, we would travel north of the Prince Alfred Pass through lush forests into the Outeniqua mountains, where we would find our little wild camp for the night. This whole series is made possible by the power of Red Arc, and in part by Bushtech canopies, terrain tamer, and easy oil. Our 97-kilometer drive through the truly amazing garden route was an absolute pleasure. It really is a wonderful part of the country, and the moody weather played a great role in adding some atmosphere. We had a couple of tasks to get sorted out in Knysna. Andy had injured his back while we were filming, and we needed to find him a physiotherapist. We also needed to stock up on food and diesel for our last bit of the trip. We decided to make a pit stop at the Knysna Heads for a spot of breakfast at the nearby cafe. The next time you're in the area, make sure you pop in for a visit. After a delicious breakfast and a few cappuccinos, we were refueled and ready for our next adventure. We've stocked up in Knysna and we're back on the road now. We've refueled and everything, and we're ready for the next chapter of our adventure. We're now on what's called the Prince Alfred Pass, a beautiful little pass that cuts out of Knysna. And I've never done it before, but I've heard so many good things about it, and we're making our way to our next campsite called Rondekop, which is an isolated wild camp in the middle of the mountains. So this should be a wonderful adventure. We're going to stop just now. We're going to air down the tires because we've been running highway tire pressures for a bit now, and make our ride a little bit more comfortable in the vehicle. But we should have a beautiful afternoon driving through the forests and mountains north of Knysna. So this road is basically a series of interconnected potholes, but it is absolutely beautiful. Now, because it's all wet and we've been driving through the clouds and stuff like that, it just gives the path so much more character. All the little potholes are full of water and splishing and splashing. The mist is wrapped between all of the little fynbos and the ferns. It's absolutely spectacular. It's a great drive. It's not very far until our campsite. We're about 20 kilometers away, but this has been absolutely awesome. We're almost there. 2.9 k's to go. It's been a busy day, but we're actually arriving at camp at a pretty good time, 4 o'clock. So nice time to set up, get a fire going, get some dinner going. I just remembered we didn't take any meat out to defrost yet, and everything is frozen solid, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Sleeping by the ocean was amazing. It's so good for the sinuses, for the lungs, for everything. But now out back in the mountains, so good, so good. This is a spectacular little spot. We've literally gotten the directions to the camp in a small little post box, written in pencil, of how to get to the campsite and everything. So hopefully we understand the directions properly, and we'll see. But so far, whew, we might have a bit of 4x4ing to do just to get to the bloody camp. Oh wow, beautiful. How's the smell of the fynbos? It's beautiful. It's like real.
We arrived at the initial campsite, but it was a bit small for us, so the owner, Katot, took us on a little route to this spot, which arguably was even better. With some potentially bad weather brewing, we were grateful to have a bit of protection from a nice big tree. Katot is a really interesting guy, and his family have been on this land for many generations. It now forms part of the Pietersrivier Reserve and is now a sanctuary for wilderness in the Outeniqua Mountains.
That's fine. We're at our little camp now. We're busy kind of trying to rainproof it a little bit and windproof and make it snuggly. We're trying to set up as many of the awnings as we can to kind of close in our space in case the rain comes in. But we are in the Outeniqua Mountains and it is spectacular. This camp is completely wild and we're completely out on our own. It is fantastic. Check here, let me show you a little bit of the view. We've got a bunch of beautiful vehicles parked out here, and we've got sweet, sweet nothing all around us. What do you think?
This is pretty epic. We are all alone.
Are you ready for that?
I couldn't be more ready. We've had so many people around us.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. This is going to be amazing.
The past couple days at the Tsitsikamma were great for sure, but we don't have these types of vehicles to stay in big commercial campsites. This is where the magic is for us.
Guess what time it is? Chainsaw time. And it's ready to rock and roll.
Electric chainsaw.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes. Okay, Andy, tonight we're doing veggie societies for you. And let's see what else we got here. And are you doing wors as well? Okay. That's good. That's real good. You're not gonna walk like a dog.
With the sun eventually coming out, we savoured every little second of our morning. We knew we would need to leave today, but just wanted to make the most of our time here. We thought we would leave the next lucky campers who came through here a nice pile of wood.
We need to finish this. Then we get to Outeniqua. Then you're gonna go left on the R62 till it hits the N9.
Our water tanks are, well, they've been below 25% for quite a while. So we need to go in search of some water and stuff like that. But I think we're gonna pack up here. It has stopped raining. We've actually milled a bunch of wood for the farm owner. Rolfie's been busy with the chainsaw all morning. Had a huge amount of fun doing that. But I think we're going to move on from here. I think we're going to find ourselves one last little pit stop before the Rosemas head back to Gauteng. And yeah, we're going to have our last little look around the Bushtech Cruiser and give you a bit of insight on what we think and how we feel about it. We got a decent drive ahead of us. We got 213 Ks. We're going to finish up the Prince Alfred Pass and we're going to make our way to Mosselbay. So let's see how it goes and what adventures await us along the way.
This cruiser has been a flippin' awesome vehicle to test the tray setup on the back. I mean, the cruiser's a cruiser, it doesn't change. But it has never changed. But the tray setup it's very different to what, the conventional canopy setup that we are familiar with and that we know. But I think it's awesome. I think it's really something that will enable you to maybe travel as a family without towing comfortably. And really, if you two people do very long trips, I would say 3 to 4 weeks and longer as two people in great comfort. The amount of space and versatility that it gives you, I mean, you can really do what you want. You can put coffee stations, you can put anything that your heart desires, there's space for in the tray. And I think that's the key difference between a normal tub and canopy versus a flat tray and canopy. The space, and the ergonomics of it is very, very good. You have your accessibility to everything is so much easier than with a conventional canopy. You can grab anything from any side practically, as long as you're tall enough. And you really got a good setup.
With the end of the Prince Alfred Pass ahead of us, I can definitely say it's really awesome. If you have a spare day and are around in the area, it'll take a couple hours, but it'll be so worthwhile to go and do it yourself. Our journey now would be to get to a little spot called Canon Valley just outside of mosselbay. It's a little camp we found on Tracks for Africa and really wanted to check it out.
Okay, so here we are at our campsite for the evening. We're gonna need to find our spot. This is the Canon Valley estate, just outside of Mosselbay. It's between Gouritsmond and Mosselbay, and it is spectacular.
This would be our last night with the Rosemas, and then Andy and I would make our way to Cape Town to continue our adventure.
Absolutely stunning, what a treat.
This was a fantastic way to round off an absolutely epic trip. We got to see some incredible places and got to really see that Bushtech Landcruiser in its element. It's safe to say that both Rolfie and I would definitely look forward to having a similar setup on our own vehicles. But thank you so much for watching this series, and I'll catch you again soon when Andy and I arrive in Cape Town. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of Rome Overlanding. I really hope you enjoyed it and would love to hear what you think down in the comments below. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I will see you on the next adventure. Cheers!